For more, let's bring in our regional correspondent, Mandakini Galat. Mandakini, what more can you tell us?
Well, a real tragedy down in Mumbai earlier this morning. The incident occurred at 10:30 a.m. local time, so essentially rush hour in Mumbai when millions of passengers are using this railway network to get to work. The incident itself, as you mentioned, occurred on a bridge that connects two of the city's fairly important railway stations. The fact that it was raining, of course, worsened the situation as hundreds of passengers were in these stations seeking shelter from the rain. Now, there are heart-wrenching visuals on Indian television screens that really just show a crush of bodies on this bridge as people try to get on and off it at the same time. Some people can be seen jumping off. Loud screams can be heard of passengers trying to extricate themselves from the stampede. Visuals after the incident show bodies just scattered all over the ground, many of them not moving at all. Locals and passengers can be seen carrying these bodies off the stairs of this bridge. Some real anger down in Mumbai right now. There are protests outside some of these railway stations. Of course, the Prime Minister has tweeted his condolences, and the rail minister is there to monitor the situation. But as one angry eyewitness said, this really was a disaster waiting to happen.
Well, then you mentioned that this, of course, is such a tragedy. How common is this type of accident?
Well, unfortunately, fairly common. Now, this incident, of course, has shown a spotlight on how old and insufficient Mumbai's transport infrastructure is. It's really not sufficient for the city's 20 million residents. But more broadly, India has one of the largest rail networks in the world, spanning 70,000 kilometers. 23 million people use it daily. But on an average, 15,000 people are killed, because of falling off overcrowded trains every year. The government has called it India's annual massacre. So really, incidents of rail safety, accidents that result in fatalities are fairly common. The Prime Minister and his government have said that addressing this is a priority for them. They've invested $100 billion over the next 5 years, but many are asking whether that's enough. Much of this infrastructure was built over 100 years ago during the colonial times by the British.
Mandakini, thank you very much for that. Mandakini Galat reporting there from New Delhi.